What we really want to do is to share a few ideas with you that may help you on your journey with forever. Now, I would ask you and urge you to take notes, because in my experience, if you don't take notes, you won't remember. Wouldn't it be terrible if we said 3 words today that could make you very, very wealthy, but you couldn't remember what the words were? Wouldn't that be terrible? So please take some notes. Little bit about my background. I was originally a lifeguard at a swimming pool. Do you know lifeguard? Anybody here seen the American movie Baywatch? Yeah, it was nothing like that. And then I went to university and became a surveyor, a property surveyor. And after 15 years, I didn't want to do that anymore. And I worked for a multinational, worked very long hours, spent a lot of time away from home, didn't see my children wake up in the morning, didn't see them go to bed at night. It was not a good life. They paid me, they said, a lot of money, but I didn't want that life. And then things changed, and I ran in the computer business for a time. Anybody who knows me well will know that I had to get out of the computer business because I know nothing about computers. Along the way I met Jane. She has 2 children. I have 2 children. Now we have 4 children. We were collectors of children. Yeah? And by 1992, things were really quite bad. We owed the bank a lot of money. We had our house taken away. It's a story that happens to thousands and thousands of people. And like Maria, we wanted education for our children. We wanted a good life. And we couldn't think how we were going to have that life. And then one day we had a telephone call from a friend who came to talk to us about forever. With him he brought the yellow bottle, the aloe vera gel, and when I first tasted it, I thought it was a joke. I said to Jane, have we offended our friend? We both thought that it had gone off. It wasn't good. And he said, no, it tastes like that all the time. So we discussed the business, decided the business was just crazy enough to maybe work, and we started with Forever on the 14th of August, 1993. So it's 12 and a half years ago. Jane.
Salamat. One. I hope you understood my pronunciation. It is an honor, a privilege to be here with you all today. And thank you, Jenny and CG, for asking us to share our story and a little about how we have become successful with Forever. My background was very different to Jen's. My background was in farm estates management and breeding and training horses. I had a wonderful way of life, but never had any money. And we all need a little money, wouldn't you agree? And then one day I woke up and I thought to myself, I have worked hard for 18 years in my career, and still I am not financially free. Am I prepared to work hard for another 18 years to end up in the same position? I don't think so. So I knew I had to change. John and I knew we had to find something different. And we looked at many opportunities. We looked at traditional business. We looked at franchising. We looked at many other companies. But we didn't find anything that felt right, that felt good in our hearts. We didn't think there was a company out there for us. And then one day we got a phone call from our friend, and he was very excited. So excited I didn't even understand what he was saying. However, we went to meet him, and he began to draw the circles. Does anybody remember how it felt when you saw the circles for the first time? How exciting was that? And it captured my imagination. And I thought, this is the vehicle. This vehicle is going to allow us to create great wealth, great success for ourselves, our family, our friends, and our colleagues over the next 18 years. So John and I, we got involved. And in August 1993, we invested in our Touch of Forever box. We took it home, we opened it up, and we said, what do we do? We know nothing about aloe vera. We know nothing about network marketing. What do we do? So in my first month, I went out and I talked to everybody about the products. You see, our little boy had a fantastic result with the bee products because he had very bad eczema. And within a matter of a few weeks, the eczema had disappeared as a result of using the propolis cream and him drinking the berry nectar. So in our first month in the business, just by talking to people about the power of aloe vera, our bonus check was £37. Just a little one. But in the second month, we realized we needed to introduce some people into our business. And in the second month, it was £57. I can see you're really impressed. But in the third month, we began to realize that the power of forever is the power of helping other people. And if you help enough other people get what they want, in return, everything comes to you. So in our third month, we became assistant managers, and the check was £187. In our fourth month, we became managers, and our check was £600. And in our fifth month, we were paid as managers, and our bonus check was £1,680. That's a lot of money in 5 months. And then something happened. We thought, we're managers. We're successful. We've reached the top. And we did a very silly thing. We sat down and we stopped working. We expected our team to do all the work, and we sat down. And that was a big mistake, because the next month our bonus check dropped to £700. And it was at this moment that we looked at each other and said, we must be doing something wrong. It was then that we realized that we had to be the leader that other people wanted to follow. Because if we don't lead, who is going to come with us? Within 2 months, the bonus check was £2,500. And we never, ever looked back.
So, what did we learn along the way? What did we learn that took us from a check of £37 for the month to earning £750,000 a year in the UK? That took us from a business where we were our business, John and Jane, to having thousands and thousands of distributors all over the world and getting income from 34 of the FLP countries. What was it that took us from living in a rather bad rented house to living in a beautiful farmhouse that was built in 1570 with land and lakes and stables? Everything we see from our farm, we own. And we're in the middle of just completing now a spectacular building which we're converting. What is it? What did we learn? What is it that took our children from really poor education into top education? What was it? What changed things for us? We had vehicles, cars at the beginning, but it was a miracle they were still running. You know, the rust on the cars was holding hands, so the car would still go. And it gave us beautiful cars. What was it that did that? There must be something, mustn't there, that took us on that journey. We have a family who are the wind beneath our wings, the most important thing to us. We love taking our family and our friends and our top distributors to our beautiful home in the south of France. It's lifestyle. It's lifestyle. That's what it gives you. Ladies and gentlemen, most people don't have a life, let alone lifestyle. It's having style in your life, everything you do. And here you can see some of the happy occasions. So what was it? It was work. It was work. Because the only place where success comes before work is in our dictionary. S comes before W. But in real life, work comes first and success comes second. Wouldn't you agree? Good. Well, at least 3 people do. So what do you need to do? You need to get belief. You need to have belief. Firm, unshakable belief. Not the sort of belief where somebody goes, boom, and you're gone. You have to have belief. What do you have to have belief in? A company. This is an awesome company. This is the best company I have ever seen or heard about. How do we know that? Because we've lived with this company every single day since August 1993. It's not a perfect company. No company can be perfect. But what you can be sure of is that the company tries its best for you every day. They don't always get it right. We're all human beings. But the key thing is that their heart is in the right place. And certainly, I've never met anybody anywhere in the world who has been let down by Forever. It's a tremendous company. Believe in this company. Believe in the industry, network marketing. Has anybody ever had somebody say to them, oh, you're not in network marketing, are you? Anybody had that? It's just me, isn't it? I'm the only one where people say, oh, you're not in network marketing. Network marketing is a big, thriving sector. Huge sector in the world economy. And getting bigger every day, every week, every month, every year. And every lifetime. Of course, within network marketing, there are good companies, medium companies, and great companies. This is the greatest of the great within network marketing. $53 billion, that's $53,000 million at wholesale, conservatively. This is not an accident. In the UK, still quite small, 451 million pounds sterling. The products. You have to have belief in the products. How do you get belief in the products? You use the products. You become a product of the products. I know how I feel. I know how I feel every day of my life because I use these products. How else do you get belief in the products? You retail the products, don't you? You sell these products to other people so they can get the same benefits. And we retail products at the retail price. We do not discount products, ever. I have never sold a product and never will at less than the recommended price. Want our people to make money. You know, I love cars. Last year we bought a Porsche. And when we went in for the Porsche garage did not say, oh, we'll give you 20% off. Because if they did, I would go, well, a Porsche then isn't worth the money, is it? You have the best products. Value the products. I would never discount a product, ever. Nobody in our team discounts products. That's why our people make money. Fantastic products. And you. That's sometimes the most difficult one, isn't it? You. To believe in you, that you can do this. To believe that you can have a great life. Because we go through a process that is negative. Most of the conversation around us is negative. Has anybody read a newspaper? Oh, isn't that fun? You open a newspaper. War. Chicken flu. Oh. Oh no! Oh! 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 You turn the television on. Oh! Oh! You have no chance. You know, walk out the door, bang, why not? You know, everything is so awful. You have to learn. There is a great life out there, and it can be for you. Why not for you? If you have self-belief, take control of your life. That is your responsibility. Have that belief. What's the next thing? You have to recognize the need for change. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever your life is right now, at this moment, if I was to take a snapshot of your life, is as a direct result of your thinking and your past actions. Take responsibility. Don't blame other people. Take responsibility. If you continue to think and act in the same way, you will get the same thing. Does that make sense? You know, if I'm banging my head on a table and it hurts, if I keep doing it, that's insanity. But people continue to do the same thing, hoping that things will get better. You have to change. If I had become a surveyor and still gone to the office in swimming trunks, bathing costume, do you think that would work? No, of course not. So you have to change. How do you change? You go to the trainings. You attend the trainings. You take notes. You listen to the tapes. You read the books. You listen to people who know how to build this business. You take advice from people who have a great life. Does that make sense? And little by little, training by training, book by book, action by action, day by day, week by week, month by month, you change. And in changing, you change your life. Does that make sense? Good. Jane.
That we had to take responsibility for our own actions. Now, for many people in this room, probably until you joined Forever, you had never done network marketing before. And I was like that. I didn't understand network marketing. I didn't know if it would work for me. I didn't really know what to do when I first started. Our sponsor was very good. He did a few coaching sessions with us and encouraged us to take a few simple steps. But there's one poignant moment that stands out in my mind that I believe was the changing moment that allowed us to go on and take responsibility for developing our own business. He travelled one day to come and do some work with us. John wasn't there, he had to go into the day job. But Chris had arranged that he and I would do a whole day of one-to-ones, business presentations. And he expected me to arrange for this to happen. And I remember arriving at our home in his car. He'd driven for 3 hours to come and work with us. And I brought him into the house and I made him a cup of coffee. And it was 9 o'clock in the morning, so he travelled very early. And he said, "Okay, Jane, what time is our first appointment?" And I looked at him and I said, well, I've had a really busy week. He said, "Yeah, that's great." He said, "Who are we seeing first?" And I said, well, actually, I didn't speak to anybody. And he said, "What?" He said, "I've driven for 3 hours to come and work with you and you have nobody to come and see us?" So I said, "Yeah." And he looked very angry. So he said, "Okay, never mind. Let's do some work on your goals. You did write your goals down, didn't you?" And I said, "Oh, Chris, I don't need to write down my goals. It's all in my head." He said, "No, that is not how you set goals. That is not how you design your future." So he said, "I have driven for 3 hours. You have no one to see me. You have not done your goals. You have done no work. Why am I here?" And he closed his book with a big bang. And he walked out of the house and he slammed the door. And as he left my house, he said, "I thought you were going to be good. Now I don't think so." And he got in his car and drove away. Now, how would you feel if that had happened to you? I felt very sad. I felt very great pity for myself, and I burst into tears. I went upstairs to wash my face, and as I looked in the mirror, I did not like what I saw. I saw someone who was not prepared to commit to the activity, who was procrastinating, who was not doing what needed to be done, who was actually not taking responsibility. And that is not a good way to build a business. From that moment on, I knew if it was to be, it was up to us. If we wanted a big business, it was down to the activity and the responsibility that we took upon ourselves. So in order to build a huge business, ladies and gentlemen, you have to accept personal responsibility. And if you do, everything will come your way.
Okay. What else do you have to have? You have to have a sense of urgency. Urgency. Now, I sense here there's a lot of energy in Malaysia and Singapore. A lot of energy. You know, the British are very laid back. And sometimes there is no sense of urgency. You know, I say to distributors, when are you intending to have the big bonus check? When are you intending to have the great lifestyle? Are you planning it for your lifetime or somebody else's? Because the sooner you can make money, $100, 100 ringgit, 100 whatever, rupees, I don't care. The sooner you can show somebody else how to do the same. And if 100, why not 1,000? And if 1,000, why not 10,000? You know, a job, a 40-year job, is where you wait forever for things to happen. What's better, a 40-year job or a 4-year FLP plan? Is there any merit in waiting